All right, guys. So this one is going to be how to deal with being lonely. Okay. So loneliness is a very, very, very uncomfortable thing that all of us honestly experience, some to varying degrees, and people experience loneliness in different ways. Depending on kind of what they're experiencing around them, it could be the fact that you're in a room but you feel alone because you haven't allowed yourself to be yourself around others. And that in and of itself would allow you to feel connected with others. There's a good chance that you might have wanted a relationship to work or something to work and it didn't go the way you wanted or you got rejected. There are a lot of ways that you can feel lonely and a lot of different kinds of loneliness that occur. So, how do you deal with this? Okay, well, the first thing is stop running from the feelings. Okay, stop running from the emotions. It's okay to feel overwhelming sadness. Okay, it's okay to cry. It's okay to let yourself feel a lot of negative, uncomfortable emotions. I know you really want to run from them, but if you do run from them, what's going to happen is eventually you're just going to become depressed, okay? Depression doesn't come from overwhelming sadness. Depression comes from trying to force positivity when you're sad, okay? You can't really force yourself to be happy if you don't ever experience any sad emotions, okay? So that's the first thing, all right? Allow yourself to be lonely, okay? In that state of loneliness, you're probably going to be questioning yourself and your self-worth, your self-esteem, and things like that. And honestly, what I would say is that's just going to happen, all right? And allowing that to happen is a good thing for you, okay? Realize it's part of a process to build you into something better, okay? And even if that better thing is not a complete change on the outside, maybe it's just inner strength or maybe it's just inner self-acceptance or things like that, but there's always a purpose or a reason for your loneliness, okay? Even if it doesn't seem that way or feel that way. I remember being very lonely. It was a lot worse when I wasn't married, okay? But the reality of the situation was I thought I was going to be alone forever. I thought I would never find anybody. I thought I was going to be one of those dudes that was just single forever. And then surprisingly enough, around 25, I met my wife and then we got married, okay? So you're not going to be alone forever romantically. I didn't have friends for a while, but now with times I've gotten older, a lot of people are way more accepting and kind to each other in some ways. It's not perfect, of course, but you learn to just filter out the people you don't like and you end up finding people you do like and end up finding really good connections, okay? So eventually the loneliness is dealt with, all right, just by people around you growing up and maturing and realizing what they want. So basically this too shall pass, all right? That's a phrase I used to say to myself when I felt pretty alone, is that, the feelings of sadness are going to pass, okay? One thing you can do in the meantime, though, is try to work on self-development and self-improvement. It doesn't really fix everything, all right? But, try your best, and yeah, hopefully this helped you.